I was doing other work, doing the rock work. There was beautiful rock work done there before the '69 floods, you know. So the park was beautiful, Area 8, all that was twice the size it is now, but all washed out during the '69 floods. So before that happened, I was building rocks, and then I was building monuments. I built a flagpole at Irvine, put a new pole up and a flag, you know, it's still standing there. And I was doing featherly tree. It was a big nine bunch of trees, you know, sycamore coming out, and they were eroding and things like that. So I made a half circle and put rock on it, and then they had a plaque. I set it in and saying, Featherly Park. And I was doing that one day, and who comes up behind but Cy Featherly, the supervisor. Then he said, what's your name? I said, anyway, what happened there, after he got through, I knew who he was, so I threw my shirt on the plaque so he wouldn't see it, you know, because it was for him. So it was, and he went back, and next thing the superintendent and all this, we have to get badges for you guys. He complained because there was no name and badge on us. There was nothing. We had a uniform, but all this khaki uniform with the sheriff's badge, not the ranger yet. I was no ranger yet. So anyway, next thing they said, the Historic Society, we're going to loan you for maybe a couple of weeks here and there to build monuments for the Historic. I said, where is that? Well, one's Caps O'Neill Ranch, one was the Hangman's Tree, and I built those, put a railing around it, put the plaque in, and that's where all that thing that used to come, that plaque, that's up there, that's Portola Ride. There were a big Portola Ride was coming up from San Diego to Santa Barbara. They were going horseback, all inland, to go through O'Neill Park and all that. So I did that. So I really liked that monument, so I did a lot of monuments for them. I was still a maintenance worker, you know, I wasn't a ranger or anything. But I know when I started working there was on the papers, a register and all that, oh, the county is, the state is going to have election, and they award $64 million for putting parks and harbors together. We were called the Parks Department then, 2 parks. So that was going on. Little that I know that there had to be rangers there because they said so. The Coastal Commission was always on the paper, and big shots. You know, Sampson, the director of the whole beaches at the time. So I knew things were going on. But little I know, I didn't end up being the first ranger. But I worked there. I got to be senior maintenance in less than 6 months. That was when the foremans on weekends are off, the senior maintenance were on the park. So it's just like a ranger, really. But you see, I was a foreman, and there was 2 other foremen there, but they were old, and they were ready. They were sick and retired. But anyway, the thing came up in 1967 that we'd have to take a test if you want to be future. Well, didn't say rangers, but future. Say, little I know that was for rangers. So we spent 8 hours in personnel going through bearing walls and trees and whatever. So in personnel there was about 40 people applying for it. And there was only one job, I guess. Well, I found out there was 2. But anyway, after a week, the guys called me, Ralph Howard said he's going to be the big shot in the park, so that's why he wanted me to work for him. He didn't pass the test. So they called me, did you get your card? I said, I didn't get nothing. They said, we got a card, we didn't pass. It had to be between 70 and 100, you know. Jack Bettingham was another guy. He was in the Navy. It was a big thing in England, you know, the Navy's. He didn't pass either. I said, well, I don't know. My car must have gotten lost or something. I didn't hear for about a month. And here's this card that came in. you go for an interview down at personnel with, there was the state superintendent of parks, state of California superintendent of parks, and big guy from personnel. I think I used to know his name, I don't know anymore. And another, I don't know, will interview. And we didn't actually know how much we made, but I found out I got to be 79. There was a guy from the harbor, he was a big wheel, worked for the harbor department. He got 90, I guess, or something on the thing. And somebody else, they were all, a couple, Walt Morris, for instance, got less, about 71. Dave Landrum got about 71. So anyway, they went down there and then took another month, and they said, I got 82, and the guy that got 90 went down to 70. And anyway, we didn't, the superintendent wouldn't tell you nothing. They didn't tell him nothing, really, the county. So one day I was off. The superintendent called me, at a white car and all that. Meet me over at Jimco on 17th Street at 1 o'clock. I said, that was my day off. I said, what the hell does he want now? So I went over there, they were there, and there was another guy in the car. I said, I wonder what's going on. He didn't say where we were going, just drove down to 1901 Bayside Drive, where the director, Sampson, was, and went in there, and the chief of operation, Lehman, Klinger, all the big wheels. I said, he pointed to the superintendent, you take care of those two guys. They're the future of the park department and the future of the harbors, beach, and parks. That's all I said. I still didn't say, what did I win anything? Or but I found out shortly that was a ranger. That was the ranger. They were for future rangers. I was still a foreman in '67. So in 1968, then Miles Square started to build Miles Square. And I was actually hired to be supervising ranger for Miles Square Park. It wasn't built yet. So I worked at Irvine most of the time and O'Neill. In fact, I ran 2 parks because the other foremen were really sick and tired. But they didn't take the test because they were too old. So I was, the other guy in the car was Bill Collins. You heard of Bill Collins? He came from the city of Orange. I said, I didn't know there was 2 vacancies, but that's what happened. But he only made ranger. He didn't make, at the time he only made senior matesmen, actually. He turned ranger later, and that's when I got. But I was working as foreman until 1969. And then I was working at Irvine Park, and here's a guy from the register. Are you Mike Curran? He said, yes. I said, are you the new ranger? I said, new ranger? I said, I don't know what. I never heard of it. Why? Am I? Well, that's what you're supposed to be. You came out here to interview. You're the new ranger for the county. I was the only ranger because the other guys didn't take the test, you know. So anyway, that went on there. And next year, in '68, I made the ranger name, you know. And nobody was there before with the ranger. They didn't know, I didn't know nothing about rangering. And nobody else didn't fill any ranger's job. So I had to make my own rules and my own thing. And said, well, all the maintenance guys had badges. So I was no different than them. If I was going to be a ranger, here's some of these guys like Mike Shicon or something said, oh, I'm the ranger, I'm this, I'm that. And they were confusing people, you know, and so I said, well, we have to change uniforms. I said, I'll go and pick up some uniform that'll be different from the other guys, you know, because I was the one in charge. So I went, one day I was up in Harrison Frank at the Owner Plaza, and I went in the place and there was highway patrol shirts there, and pants and different uniform they used to buy there. I said, I told Mary was with me, I said, I'm going to get this, I like that shirt, you know, and I'll pick that up for my uniform. Nobody in the county knew what was. They didn't know what I was wearing. I didn't care. They didn't care. So I picked that and the green pants, and that's how the uniform was formed. I had to pay for my own, actually, for about 2-3 years. Then they finally come up and paid for the uniforms. They added the jacket and all that. But it's the same, the uniform I picked out is what we ended up with. We still do, I guess.